What up, traders? What up, investors? Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and thank you for tuning in for another fantastic video. We're going to be doing something a little bit different. I found this fantastic channel just a couple days ago, and I just been absorbing and just consuming all their content. I love the philosophy. I love the energy. They seem like down-to-earth folks. Love to have a cup of coffee with them. Fantastic overall perspective on life and whatever. Without further ado, which you've probably seen in the thumbnail or in the title, talking about Dumb Money. Dumb Money YouTube channel. If you haven't seen them before, there are some interesting individuals in the sense of who they are. Let's go ahead and just jump into here. So these guys are basically folks who do, if you ever heard of retail arbitrage, they do like stock market arbitrage. So they had a company, they sold the company, I forget to who, for a nice little chunk of change. And basically what their company did was scraping everything from Reddit to YouTube, all the different various review sites on the internet, and looking for trends and looking for what were people talking about before it hit the Wall Street. So that kind of relates back to why they call themselves dumb money, is because if you're on Wall Street, you wear a nice suit, wear a nice tie, you sit in a tall office building, you sit around with other people who wear expensive cologne and really nice shoes, but they think the smart money, the Wall Street folks, think they know everything, which is completely not true. And usually they are always the ones that are blindsided by whatever reasons. And these are the folks who try to get in front of that movement, again, try to get in front of what Wall Street would be buying, so they can just basically get in the position. For example, they got into a fantastic trade that I saw on their live stream. They talked about the Container Store. They got into the Container Store weeks before, in months, I believe, before it became a thing at all. Just because they were doing the retail, the arbitrage, in the sense of like, what were people doing, what people were going to be seeing on. I think what sparked it was, I think Jordan, the guy with the nice bald head, which I don't know, not making fun of you, my friend, I'm going to be there soon. With that, seeing that there was a show on Netflix that sparked a little idea, and really just looked at we looked at the stock. The thing that I really appreciate is they don't look at charts, and they don't look at price, and they don't really do any kind of fundamental look at. They just like, okay, I like this company. A lot of people are looking at it. They literally just break it down into the information and just facts, rather than just listening to CNBC, listening to some analysts or something like that. They literally do their own due diligence, and they really get into their community on Discord, which is a fantastic community as well, on their Discord, with a lot of people with fantastic trade ideas, and really just doing a lot of the legwork, scraping like Google Trends, looking at different various reviews on certain products, looking at data on flows to certain websites, all kinds of interesting stuff, and trying to read reviews on people's Twitters and Facebooks, and just doing all that manual scraping of the internet, which is very time consuming. And this is what they do. That's their secret sauce, in the sense of being able to get in front of the ball and really get those opportunities before they go out. And the cool thing is, these guys are not just in the market. They're in real estate. They own restaurant and bars. They also do a lot of venture backing. They're in Robinhood, Robinhood, the stock market portfolio app. They're in all these companies before they even go IPO'd, and they have a lot of knowledge among the three of them, and I really like the whole philosophy which they really guide. So without further ado, the two ideas that they have been talking about, that again, I've only consumed a little bit of their information. So they basically have two channels. They have Dumb Money and then Dumb Money Live, basically kind of going and talking about different things. They had a fantastic special about Pokemon cards, which I know nothing about as well. And they also did a lot of like equity stuff within the stock market. So the one and for two ideas, which I've seen them talk about quite a bit, is their recovery stock, that they're looking at cruise lines, and of course Spirit Airlines. So Spirit Airlines, their whole play on that is Disney World. So you can see the beautiful Disney World over here. So their overall play for Spirit Airlines is basically saying that Spirit is headquartered in Orlando, Florida. Once the vaccine and the pandemic really come to somewhat of an end, which is projecting really at the summertime to late summer of 2021, people are going to be literally wanting just to run out the door and party and go on vacations, go traveling, do things outside again, and not be cooped up doing Zoom meetings and just kind of ordering Chipotle on a daily basis. So they're really pretty heavy on, and again, they talked about a little bit of the portfolio, maybe like I think 3 to 5% of their portfolio, which again, a lot of their portfolios are in the millions. So that's a pretty substantial position within the ticker symbol SAVE. So that's going to be a pretty juicy thing. Again, we can go ahead and just jump into the chart going here. So SAVE, ticker symbol SAVE for Spirit Airlines. Instead of playing the overall other airlines again, so this is not really like, you hear a lot of stuff in the news right now of like, ooh, airlines are not coming back because business travel is no longer going to exist because Zoom is the go-to thing, blah, 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 blah. But if you want to go to vacation, if you want to go on family get-togethers or gatherings, Spirit is going to be the very cheap bottom end level where people want to get from point A to point B. Like business travelers usually can spend a little bit more pocket change because the company's paying for it, and they can just get that business select or first class pretty easily. So most people who fly Spirit Airlines are folks who are wanting to go to a vacation spot, aka Disney World, and Spirit is really building and grouping up on that. They're having special planes made with Dumbo. I think it was Dumbo on the side of the plane, and really building into the Disney culture of that with having so many people potentially in the early summer to late summer of 2021 come back to Disney World once those really part of the vaccines and really things are pushing out, and the overall restrictions around the capacity on Disney World really can open back up. So they made it very clear, like, this is a very risky play. Again, they're not financial advisors, neither am I. Really diving into this Spirit Airlines play. Looking here at the chart here, though, again, it was recently, before the pandemic, it was $47. Crashed all the way down, nearly $40, went to $7, had a double bottom here around $8.40, and it has been kind of tearing up here, had a previous movement here to 25. On that movement, then kind of came back down to the 21-50 day, really that spaghetti line that we call, with all those moving averages really bundled up, really just kind of in hibernation mode. And until we start getting some more positive news, of course, the vaccine, stimulus checks, and other various things of being reopening, and people are likely to go traveling and so forth again, really being the lower end price sensitive consumers, this is going to be the play. This is, again, what they're looking at. And I tend to honestly agree. It's a very interesting trade. With that being said, it's coming off to the 21 EMA. Again, I like the 24 to the 2360 area to potentially create a starting position. But this can easily come back down to around $22.50 to $21 if we do get some negative news regarding on more cases or vaccine shortages or logistics issues or things like that. But personally speaking, I think this definitely could, I'm going to be adding it potentially to my account fairly soon, and looking to see how this plays out. Initially looking for some overhead pressure around the 27 27 range, but looking for some interesting levels. So, we always have to draw those Fibonacci numbers here. We're seeing that come through. Oh, why did that not hold up doing this live? There we go. So it's coming down to exactly the 50 percentile move. So from the 47 to 7, and that run up back to around the what is that? The 2684, which we've bounced off a couple times here, and now kind of come pulling back. This is normally like an A, B, C, D kind of pattern. So we're going to be hitting A, B, and then potentially a C, and then we could get a D breakout to 32 plus, or come back down to $22. Potentially speaking with how the news cycle's moving and how really potentially looking as the pandemic kind of behind us now, we could see this really create a spark and really get these really excuse me, I don't know why I'm coughing a lot today, recovery stocks to really kind of turn around. Because again, the reason behind Spirit is like they're not going after American Airlines, which is more business-ish, and of course Delta, which has more international stuff. The other play is honestly Southwest, but they did their due diligence in this. They said that Southwest, they don't fly too much in that area. They're more Southwest, and this is not Southeast. So Spirit kind of has that on lockdown. So without further ado, again, this is an interesting looking at this. The last one that they talked about quite a bit, and they were kind of using margin and leverage on that, was Amazon. Of course, Amazon, I don't think I have to introduce Amazon. I think everyone is pretty much well aware of what Amazon is. If you don't, you can Google it and tell you all about it. With that being said, Amazon has been really much in the hibernation mode, and has had little to no excitement really in the past coming months, even though you're seeing these cloud stocks rip higher and everything. I don't know if people forget that, hey, Amazon owns AWS, so it's they didn't. Okay, that's whatever. Like everyone's stuff is really on AWS as we speak. Yeah, there's some on Google and some on Azure, but that AWS is still a large segment of their business. Of course, they also own Whole Foods too, and they own a smorgasbord of other things, and they're really just dominating a lot of those areas. That being said, it's just been somewhat dormant. It did have a huge run this year because of, again, the pandemic, going from basically $1,600 to nearly $3,500 and is ripping higher here. Initially looking here at the chart, the dumb money, they've been, the videos that I saw, they were in it around the September timeframe. Exactly, I don't know exactly what date. Again, they're not pinging me their direct stats or when they're getting in. Just from watching a couple of their previous videos, they were mentioning that they were in Amazon fairly large around the September timeframe. With that being said, it's kind of been somewhat flat since then. Because again, those moving averages have been kind of spaghettied up, really hard to decipher which one's the 5, which one's the 30, so forth. And it really just makes this really tight consolidation pattern, which we're seeing here, basically staying above 3,000 and kind of hitting potentially maybe a double wall here, a double top here at 33.36, so 3,336. I wish you would do a split. Amazon side note, please do a split so I can read these numbers a little bit better because I'm dyslexic. That being said, hitting that potentially double top here around this level, if we do get a smorgasbord of volume and some gangbuster action, we could see this potentially run up to around that 3,500. And the long term, I think 4,000 is still in target. Again, that being said, Amazon is literally the king of a lot of things, and especially I don't know if you remember, just a couple days ago, we had holiday season. A lot of people, Amazon gift cards, or they sent gifts via Amazon. So we're definitely going to see on how their next quarter goes out from there. Because again, if we go to the weekly chart here, this thing looks really juicy here. On the weekly chart, it has held the 21 EMA super strong here, honestly, and really looking to kind of build like a cup here and really break out to some really extreme prices, potentially looking for, again, that 3,500, 3,600 to potentially hit that all-time high. And of course, with the continuous notion, if we do get more positive news going forth with the overall market, this thing could clearly rip to some extremely high prices and really break out. But excuse me, that being said, thank you so much for stopping by. I know this video is a little bit different, a little bit longer. I wanted to thank the guys at Dumb Money. Keep up the fantastic content and definitely check them out and subscribe to their channel as well. I'll link their channels in the description down below. All right, guys, thank you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe on the way out the door, and I'll catch you guys at the flip side. Peace.